let me tell you something. Let me say this. I'm not a referee. So I'm gonna get off the phone right now. Listen to me. I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am gonna let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
Puff is in this position where he has all this turmoil, but he's not at the point where he's saying where I went wrong. He's saying to himself, how do I get out of this? Maybe I can convince some witnesses that I'm not the guy who I am. Eventually, he's going to get to the point where he's going to ask himself, how did I get myself into this situation?
The intercourse would usually last maybe 4 or 5 rounds, depending on how many times she climaxed. It was a little under 2 days, maybe 18 to 20 hours. And they gave me about $6,000.
Sean was in his office, and I'm in a little cubby hole around the corner. Buzzes me. So I get up and I go in with my papers and go. A girl is giving him a at the desk. He wanted me to see that. He wanted me to see her face. And then he was able to get her to do that right then and there in the office.
This episode breaks down the newly uncovered evidence, leaked footage, and the influential voices now driving the case against Diddy. Legal analyst Andy Sonori points to a major mistake by Netflix in including footage that shows Diddy speaking directly with his attorney. He notes that the lawyer is even heard on camera stating that such conversations should never be recorded. According to Sonori, broadcasting private legal discussions violates attorney-client privilege and severely damages Diddy's position, both in the court of public opinion and in the courtroom itself.
Despite Diddy's own legal protests, Netflix did release its 4-part docuseries, Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Some of this footage is truly shocking. Not that it tells us stuff we didn't know, but that it's footage with him with his own lawyer, sitting there, Mark Agnifilo, Costco lawyer himself. There's literally a part where they're like, hey, you shouldn't be recording this. There's also footage from Lil Rod, months of them recording together, and so many voice notes, and it all paints a pretty bad picture of Sean Combs, including voice calls with KK herself. How did Netflix get all this? How are they not being sued?
Sonori went on to emphasize that the documentary's most serious flaw was allowing cameras inside privileged legal discussions. He explained that while written notes between a client and attorney can remain protected, introducing a camera immediately destroys confidentiality. As a result, conversations that should have been legally shielded are now potentially admissible, creating a major legal risk for Diddy.
From my understanding of my own case and filming a documentary about my case, from what I've gathered from my own lawyers, I'm not a lawyer, but they're like, you can't film any of this legal stuff. When we're talking in court, etc., you can't film it. You lose the privilege, right, of attorney-client privilege, because then now someone else is there, there's a record, there's something else. That can be used, like notes and stuff, fine, but documenting a video with a third-party cameraman, etc., that's where things get blurry. If you're in a phone call with your lawyer and someone else is on, that can lose the privilege.
Based on Merid Morali's analysis, he argued that the documentary was crafted with a clear purpose, to construct both a legal and moral case against Diddy. According to Morali, the film's central message is its claim that Diddy played a direct role in the events surrounding Tupac Shakur's death. He described this allegation as the foundation upon which the entire narrative is built.
To me, to see that, and then to see him in this documentary is very interesting, because I think that he is the most important part of this documentary, and I will tell you why. The way he narrated was so important, but he is setting up the foundation to us to go to the next part of this documentary and look at how Diddy was a part of the missing and the killing of Tupac, let alone Biggie. That's what Kirk Burroughs is basically leading us in.
Morali also emphasized that the testimony of Joy Dickerson Neal serves as a crucial pillar of the documentary. He analyzed Diddy's alleged behavior of secretly recording intimate encounters and showing them to others as calculated acts designed to assert dominance over other men and boost his own ego. Morali concluded that this repeated pattern of control and exploitation reveals a core trait of Diddy's personality, one that directly aligns with the accusations brought forward by Cassie and several other women.
Joy Dickerson Neal is one of the main parts of this whole documentary. How she was essayed by this man, allegedly what she states, she cries, gets emotional, it was filmed, it was put up on screens to see. And there were other people in these confessionals, I've forgotten their names, who basically spoke about the fact that there were, people on the road who had, notoriety, who would do parties, and they would also display the same stuff. Diddy saw this and wanted to emulate it because it's a power move. All of this is a power move. Filming a woman, you lot being intimate, or him essaying you, then he's putting it on the screen to say, look, I've got your girl, I've got this girl, this is what I'm doing to this girl. All of this is just power moves to show other men that he's bigger than them, and it basically ruffles their feathers and it fills up his ego, which is why he went for Misa Hilton, because he wanted to just have her as a chess piece and then control her. That attribute to how he sees women, how he controls them, how he uses them, is very centric and important, not only to Cassie's lawsuit and that video, but also to the other women that, of course, are speaking out, whether it be right now in the lawsuits or prior.
Looking beyond the new documentary, Angela Yee also highlighted one of the oldest and most serious allegations against Diddy involving Joy Dickerson Neal. Neal has alleged that she was drugged and sexually assaulted by Diddy in 1991. She also claimed that afterward, Diddy suggested he had recorded the encounter, a statement that deepened her fear and sense of intimidation. Neal said that when she attempted to seek help, those around her chose to protect their relationship with Diddy rather than support her. That silence, she explained, left her isolated, dismissed, and carrying the trauma alone for years.
Is Joy Dickerson Neal, and she is an alleged victim of his, also a former acquaintance of his, and she has actually has one of the oldest allegations made against him. She says that he assaulted her in 1991, and he denies these allegations, but here's what she had to say about that alleged assault.
Was there ever a time that Sean Combs assaulted you?
Yes. Someone called me up and told me that he said, he has you in video. And that's when he described it. This thing was incredibly devastating to my family. I approached a lot of people for help. I got things like, what do you want me to do about it? To, if I help you, I can't get into his part.
Neal said that after avoiding Diddy for years, she unexpectedly came face to face with him again. According to her, he approached her, dropped to his knees, and pleaded his innocence. She described that intense, emotional encounter as the last time she ever spoke to him.
Avoided him for a very long time. I ran into him one day. He came to me. He got on his knees and swore he did not do this thing to me and denied it. And that is the very last time I talked to him.
Meanwhile, Lauren Lara Rosa broke down the documentary's narrative choices and the voices shaping its accusations. She highlighted two central figures, Eric Sermon of EPMD and alleged eyewitness Kirk Burroughs, noting that much of the film's framing leans on their accounts. She also addressed Misa Hilton's stance, explaining that Hilton refused to participate and felt she was unfairly dragged back into a past she has worked hard to move beyond. According to Lara Rosa, Hilton believes the documentary harmed her reputation and current career by tying her to events she wanted no part of anymore. Her recounted a harrowing experience at a party tied to Diddy's vodka brand. She revealed that her drink had been spiked, leaving her with memory gaps about what happened afterward. Muir explained that the incident had a lasting impact, leaving her deeply traumatized and struggling to trust people fully ever since.
So I went to the vodka brand that he's was associated with at the time, had a launch party, and I was there. And I was in an environment with obviously him and his people that he's surrounding with. And there was an incident where I was drugged.
Spiked.
I believe there was something that was put in my drink, and I don't have much recollection after what happened to me. And it still stays with me to this day. It's something that will never leave me. It has changed my life completely because I don't trust many people.
In examining the documentary, Tissa Tells provided a psychological analysis of Diddy's behavior. She suggested that early exposure to sex and violence distorted his sense of boundaries and relationships. According to her, this childhood trauma molded him into someone who approaches intimacy as performance and weaponizes identity for manipulation. She argued that these patterns persisted into adulthood, reportedly influencing even his alleged violent behavior toward his mother.
This man lost his virginity at 12 years old. You think about it, exposure to pee,
and adult sex at parties, that equals zero boundaries and high confusion. Diddy didn't learn intimacy, he learned performance. He discovered sex through dysfunction, not affection. And when you add in the exposure, the alleged exposure to violence inside the home, let's not forget Gene Deal, the bodyguard who I interviewed. He claimed he saw a young Diddy physically lash out at his own mother. Now, this hasn't been verified because I wasn't there, but it is consistent with a household lacking boundaries. Because kids repeat chaos they're raised in, sometimes even against the people who raised them. And that's where this pattern starts. Diddy learned at an early age to use identity as a weapon.
Tissa Tells stated that the documentary confirmed what she had suspected for years. She explained that Diddy's fame and public persona never fooled her, and the footage presented in the film exposes his true character without the need for interpretation. According to her, Diddy's own words and actions are sufficient to reveal who he really is. Tissa added that she feels vindicated, as everything she had long suspected about him is now in the public eye. In her view, the documentary doesn't rely on opinion. It relies on Diddy's behavior, providing evidence that she considers clear and undeniable.
The whole point of the matter is I feel vindicated because I can see through and who I saw Diddy to be has all the glamour and shit. That shit don't impress me. I know it impressed all those men or wannabe men that were on their knees hoping Diddy would bless them, but it didn't impress me. But who I saw him to be and who you guys saw him to be, yeah, it shows it. And they don't even gotta walk you to water. They just show you who Diddy is in his own words. Because, baby, they got a lot of footage where Diddy himself is acting a fool.
On the other hand, Diddy's team maintained that Netflix used footage without proper authorization. They explained that the material included private moments, pre-indictment recordings, and discussions of legal strategy that were never intended for public release. According to them, the footage had been produced for a separate, unfinished project, and no rights were ever transferred to Netflix. They stressed that a payment dispute between third parties cannot legally grant permission to publish or use such private material. None of the content came from Diddy or his team, and its inclusion raises serious questions about how it was obtained and why Netflix chose to release it. In his own words, 50 Cent argued that the documentary's power lies in its honesty. He stated that even if Diddy finds some scenes uncomfortable or disagrees with them, he cannot deny the reality depicted. According to 50 Cent, the footage speaks for itself, and the truth is clear and unavoidable. He added that audiences are already calling the project one of the most impactful documentaries in years, demonstrating its reach and resonance. So, while Diddy may object to certain moments, 50 Cent believes he will still recognize the undeniable reality behind the footage, since the documentary relies solely on what actually happened, not on opinion.
When Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. Because you'll see people saying that. I mean, he may feel a different way about pieces and bits of it, but he knows the truth. I think he'll see the truth in it.
Furthermore, 50 Cent clarified why he is speaking out, countering the notion that it's motivated by personal beef. He explained that any tension between him and Diddy dates back years, stemming from comments that made him uncomfortable, such as Diddy offering to take him shopping in a way that felt more like a test than a friendly gesture. However, 50 Cent emphasized that this isn't about past drama. He is addressing the situation now because of the events unfolding publicly, not because of old disagreements. In his view, the matter transcends personal history, and he wants to make clear that the two should not be confused.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester. Like, maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
From Peter Rosenberg's perspective, he criticized 50 Cent's approach, suggesting that 50 has quietly been waiting years for an opportunity like this. He referenced their long history, beginning with the track How to Rob, which angered the entire industry, including Diddy. Rosenberg noted that industry insiders worked against 50, and combined with real-life street conflicts, it nearly cost him his life. Now, with 50 Cent successful and untouchable, Rosenberg believes he views this moment as payback, a chance to act with ease, enjoy himself, and face no consequences. At this stage, 50 doesn't care about industry opinion, which is why he takes pleasure in calling people out.
But somewhere in my soul, I think Diddy been holding on to this, looking for an opportunity to come for Diddy, since 50 put out How to Rob early.
I mean, yes, listen.
Because the whole industry, remember, the whole industry at that time, if you're old enough, of a certain age, you remember that they was mad at 50 for, talking like that in that song. Yeah. And they tried to really squeeze bro out of the game. And then obviously the streets and other things, shenanigans was going on, which almost ended 50's life. But then he returned. No, your man, no, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And it's all fun and game. It's all funny and fun and games to him now. He don't care.
Oh my God.
Similarly, Soul criticized 50 Cent's documentary, arguing that it feels far from objective and comes across as personal. He suggested that 50's real motivation may be tied to lingering emotions about his son's mother being involved with Diddy, implying unresolved bitterness may be driving the project. According to Soul, 50 Cent's focus on Diddy risks letting personal history overshadow the actual story. Rather than presenting a neutral, investigative account, the documentary appears emotionally driven as more evidence emerges and additional voices speak out. The picture surrounding Sean Combs grows darker, sharper, and increasingly hard to ignore. This isn't just a scandal. It's a trail of footage, testimonies, and long-buried stories finally coming to light. With each new leak, both the legal and public pressure on Diddy intensifies. If this documentary reveals anything, it's that the reckoning is far from over. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.